Well, that was a quickie. Let's see what happens. Let me put this down just a little bit. Hello. This is my friend. He brought over a painting for me to fix. Can you see it back there? Oh, I'm moving right into it. There it is. That's on an old piece of wood that came out of his attic in the house where this painting is created from. But what I painted that probably about 10 or 12 years ago. And he's dropped it several times, so I'm always fixing the paint chips on it. So I wanted to continue with our teaching. All right. There's nothing else that I like better. All right. So real quick, I thought it'd be really cool to bring in the chalkboard. All right. Dun, dun, dun. So I was just going to show you how it is that I like to draw and find things out. But this is Noah's Ark. And so basically this is how you would draw. You go like this. You'd say, okay, it's talking about how long it is. All right. It's 300. So it's 300 cubits. That's what we'd get. The rest of it, the breadth, is 50. So whatever the shape of this thing becomes 50. And I wonder how when people start to build, when they start to build this, they're only getting these particular dimensions. They're not getting anything else. All right. It is 30 cubits tall, and I do that by doing this. I'm going to go in this direction, and this is 30. This how would I do it? Let's do it like this. I'll put 30 here. This is 30 cubits tall. And it has a door in its side. So I would do something like this. I would put it on the right-hand side. Only because that's, I think that's where that's where we get poked inside, where Jesus gets poked. But it's a door that goes in the side, and what it does is it's going to show there's going to be one floor. There's the lower. So what you get is you get the lower floor, which is the bottom. This one right here. Let's do it like this: lower, LOWE, the lower floor. Then we get the second, and this is how they say it, and then we get a third. All right, I'm going to do it like this. This is the third, right? Well, let's change this up, because this is the third floor right here on 3. That's what this is. So we have the lower floor, we have the first floor, the second floor, and this becomes the third floor, and then they tell you that there's a window that's made 1 cubit above that. So this is where we get the conversation here of, well, we get the overall number here of 11. 11 represents a 2, and 2 represents God's creation. So this is God's creation, the CREAT creation. So anyways, 2. So that's what represents the ark, is 2. All right. There are 3 floors on this that are 3 tall, plus when you add 1, it creates a 4. So here is the number 4 also being represented in this story. So 4 is going from the lower, this is the 4 stages of consciousness. There's actually one more we would call the 5th, which is the new mind. And that's where we're at right now in our studies, because we're coming to 8, which is a control number, all right? And the control number is the new mind, all right? So we go from the lower version, this is the first stage of consciousness is Earth. So we have Earth, all right? And so that is beta, B-E-T-A. All right, this represents the male mind that gets shut down. All right. Then we have the second. This is the first. Second is here. Second would wind up being. Is this getting on there? Yeah. Earth is the second one is water. W-A-T-E-R. This is alpha. Is that what it is? Beta, and then we get alpha. A-L-P-H-A. This is where we remove our clothes. The third, which is what they're asking for us to do here, the third is going to wind up being air. All right, and in the Bible right now, this is the fountains of the air. This is the letting this fountains from heaven. So this is air. All right, and that winds up being, this is beta, alpha, and this is theta, T-H-E-T-A, theta, all right? In the air, see, got Son of Man coming in the clouds. And fourth, this is fire. I know it doesn't necessarily represented it right now because this is a water event. You know, he's talking about a baptism is what we're dealing with here, that being baptized by water, and then Jesus or something else will baptize you with fire later on. Well, here we have what it is. This is the top of the mountain. This is what happens when the earth is being destroyed, and right here is the sixth chakra, right here. That's that stopping point, you know. So we get, when you get over on this part, this fire actually becomes what's this, the fire and brimstone and all that other mess that comes down and does its duty, cleans up, does its job. That's what is going on. That's what the water is doing. And so, you know, you get destroyed by fire, by water first, and second by fire. But right now, we wind up with Noah on the top of the mountain. The top of the mountain. And as much as, you know, I say in all these stories, that even what I had on here before was the Hopi prophecy, where, you know, there look like these steps going up. Those are mountains. That's the top. That's the east. This is the east, and that's just the way it works. You know, what we get in some of these other little number things, like in one of these, in recognized in chapter 8, verses 4. All right. Chapter 8 is about control, and 4 it'll be about the world. So what do we get? We get the ark becomes the intellect, which is the. Is this even showing up? No. The ark. So this is how you would read number 8. Chapter 8. Verse 4. And what do we have in there? We have the ark, which is A-R-C. This would be the west, the body, the intellect, the mind. That will be the west. So we'll do that. The next one is on the 7th month. So we get a 7 in here. So we put ark, and then we put a 7 here. 7 is the rest date. This is the idea, you know. So our emotions are the north side of us, represented right here. 7. 7 is the day of the Lord. All right. The next part of this is going to be 17. 17 becomes what we're looking for is 8. So that is what happens to the body, which is not the north, the south. All right. the S. So we get 8, which is what we're doing right now. He's got to get the new wine. It's changing of the guard. And the ark becomes sitting on the mountain. This becomes Mount Ararat. This is whatever. Bom, bom, bom. That is the east. The mountains. Everybody's always going over to the mountains. At least all those guys that want to get feathers in the caps. All right? That's the way it will work. So here's the ark right here. It's that part right there. Here is the 6th chakra coming into this part right there, right by the window. This is that little out room of rest. Up here, this is where the 6th chakra is. This is all seamless, you guys. Every bit of this fits together beautifully. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love it. I really do. All right, so that's that. Okay. To those with the eyes that could see and ears to hear, I hope they saw and heard all that. It's kind of fun. That's how simple this is. All right, but it's kind of complicated, but that's how simple this is. All right. I'm going to minus you down real quick while we get into this next business. We're looking at 8. So 8 is a control thing. So God is remembering Noah and everything. Remembering, it means that he's restoring. That's what it means when you're remembering. He remembers this and he remembers this, and he's always remembering things. So when God remembers things, he's basically, his wrath has been cured and he's happy. So here the ark is rested on the 7th month and the 17th day upon the month in the mountains of Ararat. This is that 8 and 4 that I just talked to you about. And the waters decreased continuing until the 10th month. And this was the 10th month on the 10th month, on the first day of the month, when the tops of the mountains could be seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days, which is, that track that they had to go through, Noah opened the window of the ark that he had made. In number 7. And he sent forth a raven that went to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also, he sent forth a dove from him, and to see if, to see if the waters were abated from the face, the ground. This is number 8. But the dove found no rest on the sole of her foot, so she returned back into the ark. So we got to try it again. So he stayed yet another 7 days. And again he sent forth a dove out of the ark. And the dove came back to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. And Noah knew that the waters were abated from the earth. This is 11. 11 is representing 2. It was plucked off. This is the idea that the head wound was healed. Do you understand? Especially when we mix it up with that heel, that bruised heel that happened just a few minutes ago, or just seconds ago. These stories wrap around each other because they're all representing an energy that does this. And so it's reciprocal or it goes round and round. All right, so let's see here. And in the 2nd month, and the 7th, the earth was dry. God spake unto Noah, saying, this is, he's 6. All right, so 6. This is when Jacob sees God face to face, calls the place Peniel. So here he is. Here we are. This is on the same idea. Number 15 represents 6. And God spake unto Noah, saying, go forth out of the ark, thou and your wife and thy sons and bring forth all these creepy things and this and that and all this, and get to start all over again. And so he thanked him by killing a little bit of this one, taking a little bit of that one, taking a little piece of this one, and taking a little bit of that. So this is how you get aid out of the control, because that's a world that he's just dealt with. And he's burnt them, he put them up, and God smells them. And he said, yes, it smells delicious. So anyways, this is kind of sounds kind of terrible, but yeah, it's the fact that he's smelling, and it's always this. I mentioned the other day that it was the incense, or when you cut your hair and you donate your skin. He hasn't talked about all this yet. They're in spirit still, because God spoke to him. Remember, you have to be in spirit before God can speak to you. All right. So, anyways. 22 is a world while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. That means you've got daylight forever. It's just beautiful, you guys. It's what happens when you're saved and brought to life. Because remember, you're dead. You've been dead for thousands of years, or however many lifetimes you get, right now I'm hoping to think that, oh my God, that maybe this will last. Maybe hopefully it's not given to everybody, because then it's been like water. I worked real hard for this. So, but no, who wants to hoard heaven? Who wants heaven for themselves? You want other people to get it too. I would love it if someone had come to me and showed me this long time ago, but it wasn't my turn. But right now, we're in a place, the way it is, we don't have a whole lot of time. I can't tell you why, and I can't really, I don't even know why I even just said that. But it seems as if, it'd be nice that someone other than me knows this, all right? And, it's what I'm looking for. So here we are, 9. 9 is a conscious number. Let's go into it. Genesis 9. Let's get it over with, okay? 9 is boom. It's when it's mine. This is mine now. You are operating now under the cloak of heaven. This is now you. No more drinking from the bitch. No more whores in your life. Go and sin no more. No more whores. All right? That's what it means. It means don't disconnect again. Don't ever even think about losing me. I ain't going to lose you. I made this thing. I am not going to lose you. All right? But let me tell you, what do you have to do to when you want to shirk God? You've had enough to get. Why? Go back to religion and stuff like that. I think you'll get sick. They say that you can drink poison. And I told my friends, I was joking. I said, I was told that I could drink poison and live. And so I equate that to going to church and sitting through a sermon. It just made me feel real sick down in the stomach. So here's 9. 9 is a control number, and we know that he got to the top of this. This is the whole idea. It was God's plan to kill off all these dead men, kill all these bad guys, because there was bad guys in the earth those days. That's because, because of religion, they destroyed everything, and God had to take it all back and start all over again. Give us the same damn book, and the same thing will happen. All right. And the fear and the dread of, all right, so and God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Because, it's all started all over again, fresh, brand new. Look at me, man. I had to go and get towels, and rugs, and curtains, and silverware, and all kinds of things. It could be, I could be like a living live example. Was shirked all those things that were mean and bad, like Mariko and all of her friends and the drinking crowd and all that stuff hit me around the same time that I got bit by this bug, you know. And, and bit by the bug means that I just was opened up this place where I can see these things and teach people how to sow the seeds. And, and regardless of what you think, the powers that be see something and only lets 4 or 5 of you guys see it at a time. So anyways, but I'm still free, I'm still around. 5, let's read these things up here. But flesh is the life thereof, which is the blood thereof. Thou shalt not eat. All right, all right. And surely your blood of the lives I require. At the hand of every beast I will require it. And at the hand of man. And at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. This is a command, because remember, everyone's starting over. Out of the hand is where we get his brother from. So please, this idea, this is under number 5. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. That's us. We're the beast. At the hand of it. That's the mark. Everyone that's marked like this. I will require it. And it's your blood. He wants your spirit. It's what he's telling you about. All right? And and the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. They've got to have it. And the brother is your brother. I talked to you. Your brother. That's the child in you. That's the lamb. This is who goes and does your work for you. He's the servant of Jesus. Number 6. Who sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man. And you be fruitful, and multiply. Bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. And God spake unto Noah and his sons with him, saying, and I will behold, I will establish my covenant with you and your seed after you. This is the covenant, and the seed is this idea of the brother. Behold, I establish. So that was number 9. 9 is a control number. So 9 says, and I, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you. Do you see the play with the eyes? And I, it's on 9. And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you. We start all over again with number 10. And with every living creature that is with you. Now, fowl and cattle, there they go, talking about the body again. They go into every beast, and I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of the flood. Neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And God says, this is on 12, which is 3. And God said, this is the token of my covenant, which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. And I do set my bow in the cloud, my bow. Excuse me, this is 4. And I do set, this is, I say 4, it's number 13, all right, which represents worlds, or 4. I do set my bow in the cloud. And it shall be a token for the covenant between me and the earth, between heaven and earth. This is the bow in the cloud. This is the rainbow bridge. All right. We have number 14 coming in now, and it shall come to pass. Well, that's the saying. That's the segue. And it shall come to pass. Or it came to pass. Well, it came to pass. All through these stories of Noah, with Noah and with what's his face? How come I can't just pull his name right out when I want to? But this would be Moses. Ah, damn. Well, anyways, it's just giving me hell is what it is. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth that the bow should be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, that the water shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. People need to believe in that. All right. Well, the idea is that it didn't destroy the flesh. This is a situation where it's you actually came out of this alive. Noah came out of this alive with his mother, or brothers and sisters, wives, and all these people, and all these things that came out with him. Now give a new start. So this idea is that there's something coming in the clouds. So you would see that this is your rainbow bridge coming and shall be in the clouds. This is in theta talked about. Number 17 is 8. And God said unto Noah, this is a token of my covenant which I established between me and the flesh upon earth. All right, so here's another world. It says 18, this becomes a 9, a consciousness, a takeover. So 18. And the sons of Noah went forth of the ark were Shem, Ham, Japheth, and Ham is the father of Canaan. Ham winds up being the body, and he's the father of Canaan. This is earth. This is the people. He's father in the human race. Holy shit, fire. Well, Canaan is really the first place. This is Ham is representing the third part, which is the south, which is our body. So Canaan is going to be a capital, and it's going to represent that part. So all of these people have their reasons for being built and named in these particular places. And then when you travel, you're going through one of these places to another one of these places. And some are in the south, some are in the west, some are in the north, and some are in the mountains in the east. So here we are. This is number 20. All right. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. All right. So he planted a vineyard. So what he did is he drank of the new wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. That means he was found naked. He's found naked in his tent. And the tent is this idea, when you pitch your tent, the people of Judah pitch their tents to the east, to the rising sun. And so that's when the rising sun, we are looking for God to come in the air, the Son of Man to be seen in the air. So this is when you are in your tent, when you are in meditation, when you have, you're in fasting, you are shutting off the flow of food or any kind of interest to the lower mind. Zip, zoink, out, gone, boink. All right, and the girls come in. Well, with Moses, the women came to greet him at the well. And while they were coming up, the men of the town showed up and chased the women off. And it shows that Moses he stood up. Moses stood up. That's something to listen for, because that means to stand before the Lord. But he stood up, and the men left, and the girls came back. That's a wonderful way of this storytelling to let you know how it works. It's also the men of the town that's knocking on the doors, trying to get in and take away what was beautiful from the other side. The knocking at the door is this temptation from Mara, because he doesn't want you to go. And so your mind is jumbled and moving and all this here, and he doesn't want you to go. So that's how you would understand that. Let's see what happened. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without. See, these are guys that are without, means on the outside. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon their shoulders and went backwards, covering the nakedness of their father, that their faces. Well, anyways, when he knows what happened, he says he was trying to clothe them up. He's trying to take back. He's trying to make this lower mind. That lower mind was, I'm taking it back. They were embarrassed to see that their father was naked, and so they were backing in on him. So this is the idea of, oh no, you guys are going the wrong way. All right. So what happens? This is what happens. And he said, "Blessed be the Lord, Shem and Canaan shall be his servant." All right. So and he said, "Blessed be the Lord God." Oh, and let's. Noah awoke from his wine. This is like, when you've been, the wine presses. This is you're in there, you're naked because there's nothing between you and God. And so the wine is what you are enjoying. So anyways, and Noah, this was 24, so that's a 6. And Noah awoke from his wine, and he knew what his younger son had done to him. And he said, "Cursed be Canaan." That's curse the skin, curse the lower mind. A servant of servants shall be unto his brethren. So he cursed the outsides, it's cursed the lower mind again, just like God did, but this is coming on by Noah, all right, which is himself. He's just pissed off. You're not taking me back to this other place. Bullshit, and from now on, you're going to be the servant to your brother, all right? And because that happens, this winds up that everyone always wants to kill the servant. They want to kill Abel. They want to kill this side. They want to take away the messenger, all right? And that's what they do. Remember, they killed the messenger. They killed Jesus. Everybody, they just want to take away all these guys, And the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Whoa, holy shit. That's a good long time to live. But listen, 900. So let's put it, it's just 950 years. So we get a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. 1 and 4 is a 5. Well, what did he do? He got his life back, I guess, because that's what 5 is. 5 is the brethren. 5 is and all the days were 950 years. So we can only really count a 9 and the 5. All right. But if we split them, instead of adding them together, 9, 10, 11. Well, it's really it's scripture number 29. So that'd be a 9, 10, 11. That's a 2. So in the days was 950 years. So I would think that we would take the 50 years as being the brethren, the 5, him and his family. And we will take that the 9 would be that he's made it over to the higher side. That's what we would think about. All right. Could you imagine living 900 years? You wonder what that would look like. It's kind of crazy. And so then we get 10 becomes a brand new thing, and this is the generations of this and this and those and those and this and this and those and those and all these things. But we get more idea now that we know that Ham represents a certain part of the body, and whatever comes from him, they're going to be extensions from those particular parts of the body. And I always thought that would be kind of cool for us to actually follow these names one time just to find out what the hell are they talking about, because it's in the Bible. So it has some kind of a meaning. And most of the times, whenever we've done this, I've wrote them all out, what each one of those things mean, and you get a whole nother story within the story. So it could be fun to do this, and I have done this already. I know I have. It's in the past. It's in one of my earlier videos. So go and check that out. All right. So I've had enough for now. All right. As we move forward into this book. All right. And it's kind of interesting how the brothers, the sons, uh, how the sons play, how they saw and they were embarrassed that their father was found naked in the tent, and that they had to come backwards in on this. So it was showing that something was trying to come back and take it back over. And he's, oh no, no more. I know what you've been doing now. I saw what happened. I know what you're up to. I know what you're doing. And from now on, you're going to hurt, and so it's just really neat. All right. Love you guys. Just talking up a storm here and teaching the Bible. My goodness. The spiritual side, the Bible, the side that saves people, the one that will bring you alive too. Learn how to do this as well. It's so easy, and we need more people to know it. They need to know it. They need to not just they need to understand it. They need to be able to teach it. Have a great time with it. All right. I'm here to help. All right. Love y'all. Bye.